Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I'm Sharlina. In this occasion, I'm going to present a material about correlation between self-confidence and speaking skills of English language teaching and English language and literature preparatory students. Next slide will be a content line. Is first about introduction, second methodology, third result, and also the last is discussion. So first, we're going to talk about introduction. In introduction, in first point is speaking among the four basic language skill like speaking, listening, writing, reading is of an exclusive importance in daily life, and it is a vital complementary tools in communication. From Darcy, Ewart, and Lister 2001, Darwin, Monroe and Beebe 1998, Morley 1991, Breton 1971. As a practical output, speaking has so many barriers, such as psychological, systematic, and attitudinal. Some of them are internal psychological and attitudinal barriers, while some are external psychological, systematic barriers. Lack of self-confidence can be tough under the both titles of psychological and attitudinal barriers that makes learner hard to speak in foreign language and even in mother tongue. So it's kind of a problem when the students have their problem in psychology. Psychological, I mean, they sometimes have a low confidence, so it's make they cannot speak something fluently. Second point is about speaking requires a high level of self-confidence. That means the state of being sure of doing something and not being shy and aggressive in social situation, from Longman Dictionary or Contemporary English. Thus, in order to be a native like speaker in a varying language, self-confidence is one of the key that unlocks some important communication barriers. So, if someone wants to speak in other languages like in English as international language, they should make their self-confidence more better. The third is self-confidence is defined as an individual recognition of his own abilities, loving himself and being aware of his own emotion, from Genstam 1984 and Osby 2004 and Junju 2006. Divides self-confidence into two subcategories as intrinsic self-confidence and extrinsic self-confidence, and contain his explanation as follows. Intrinsic self-confidence is the thought and emotion about individuals being reconciled or pleased with themselves. Self-esteem, self-love, self-knowledge, setting constraint aims, and positive thinking are the elements of intrinsic self-confidence. So the self-esteem, self-love, and self-knowledge is kind of the element or from intrinsic self-confidence. Extrinsic self-confidence is also the behavior and attitude toward others. The constructing elements of extrinsic, I mean like self-confidence are communication and controlling the emotion. So the last point is about like the study. According to the study, he state from some expert state that the students start to learn English at the 4th grade in Turkey, as the research from. They get 700 hours in primary education and 700 hours in high school, and totally 1,040 hours English lesson. But 90% of the students still remain in the starter level. This study also shows another perspective about the reality of the levels of language learners in Turkey. So after years of learning period, many students from high school or faculty students are not able to communicate in foreign language. Even in starter level, only academicians among them can only understand what they read. So this present education system produced the ones that cannot listen and speak in a foreign language. So next we're going to talk about the methodology. In this chapter, in this type of title of subthema, we are going to expand it by 4 dimensions as participant, first, and instrumentation, design, and procedure. So we're going to the first point is about participants of 2.1 is participants. The participants of the study are consist of 77 voluntary students who are attending preparatory class of both ELT department which is 56 students, and ELL department which is 21 students. Among the participants, there are 23 of them are male and 54 of them are female. As the participant of this research. Next, about the instrument. In order to collect quantitative data, a self-confidence questionnaire, or we know as ESSCT, which was developed by Aken 2007 and used in some studies July 2013, Sertim and Juven 2011, Sertim Akin Ju Kodik in 2013, and also so on. This was used. As SIKI is a 5-point light scale having 30 items and is used to determine self-confidence level of the participant. So this kind of questionnaire will collect the data about the participant and knowing how many point about the self-confidence of the participant. Without having any negative items, and highest points show the high level of self-confidence. According to Akin 2007, internal consistency confidence for the whole questionnaire is 83, and the Chromebacks Halba is if 940. So next, about research design. In the study under the non-experimental research design, correlational research model, one of the quantitative research methods, is used. If the aim is not to affect the variables with independent variables as in the experimental design, but to define the relations between them, then this kind of research is called correlational research from Bayek 2014. Correlational study describe the degree to which two or more quantitative variables and related, from according Frankel, Whelan, and Hume 2010. Correlational researchers are divided into 3 subtitles. The 3 subtitles be varied correlation studies, prediction studies, and multi-correlation studies according to MC Milan and Skamaker 2004. The last point about research procedure. In correlational research studies, the data have to be collected simulationally according to BA 2014. So the questionnaires are collected from the department in different dates, but the questionnaires from same department are collected at the same time within 15 minutes time. the questionnaires were distributed to those who got speaking grades from their speaking courses, as this study is trying to examine the relationship between speaking achievement and the self-confidence level. So the statistical analysis were done by the help of statistic program named SPSS, and I think you know SPSS. SPSS like SPSS, I mean SPSS 20.0 as 2014 state that when examining the relation level of an independent variable on the other variable person, correlation analysis should be. So now we are going to talk about the result of this from this kind of research is we're going to define them into 3 points. First we're going to define in first point about the relationship between self-confidence and speaking skills of the undergraduate students in English preparatory classes. And before that, in this kind of result, we are knowing the descriptive statistic about speaking grades and self-confidence level. And this, there is a man in confidence level 3.3 3.90, and also the speaking grade is 75.50. So we are going to the first point about the relationship between self-confidence and speaking skills of the undergraduate students in English preparatory classes. We know that normality tests were completed before starting the analysis. According to the normality test, it is seen that the result of Kolmogorov Smirnov for both self-confidence level and speaking grades are suitable for normality, since more than 0.05. These values for the skewness and the kurtosis are determined between -1 and +1. A key plot quantile plot show that the normality is in the expected level. So while looking this normality result, person product moment correlation coefficient analysis was done to examine the correlation between self-confidence and speaking achievement. The result for this correlation will be described in some way about this. So the second point we're going to talk about to what extent does the correlation between self-confidence and speaking rates change according to gender. So according to gender, we know that there's two gender here, which is female and male, which is the quantitative from both of them, which is male. There is 23 participants, 23 students, and female 54 students. So in order to understand whether gender is valuable, is like this kind of variable in here. So we can see that the independent sample test was applied for male and female. We are going to talk about the self-confidence first and also the speaking rate in here. So according to gender is total participant, and some of the example that there is no significant difference in speaking achievement according to gender. But when looking at the self-confidence level according to gender, it seems like statistically significant difference between males and females. This is like a statistic or table determining elements in this level of confidence. So the results show that the difference is significant at the level of more than 0.05 in here. So the third point, we are going to talk about to what extent does the correlation between self-confidence and speaking rate change according to Department of Preparatory Classes. So we have two classes in here, ELT and also ELL, which is ELT is English Learning Teaching and ELL English Learning Literature. So in English Chapter, we have participant first in ELT for the speaking grade. We have 56, and for ELL we have 21, and you can see that can be significant at the level of P more than 0.5. On the contrary, participants from ELT department have lower level of self-confidence than the others. So it also have a significant significant change when we ask people in some classes about and another classes. So sample test was applied. There's a statistically significance at the level. So according to the department and total participants, so they can't be changed because of their participants in the data. So the last about discussion. The study was designed to find out the relation between self-confidence and speaking achievement, and to determine if there is any difference in self-confidence level and speaking achievement of the participants according to department and gender. Within this light of the finding that we are examined in this study, it was observed that there is a statistically significant correlation between self-confidence and speaking achievement. Furthermore, there are some differences according to the department and gender. Participants who are aware their own abilities and love themselves are aware of their own emotion. According to Zintan 1984, Uzbey 2014. Next, or the second, is speaking fluently and accurately have always been an important concern and shortcomings in Turkey. Parker from Packer 2011 and in other countries in Ghent 2011, and also in the United Kingdom Lantham 1995 2005. The speaking problem is tough to be overcome by constructing moderate level of self-confidence of the individuals. This also the third point about speaking, as there are various studies about self-confidence and success from this, and it also have a positive correlation found in the study to support previous findings. So from this article we can know about relations or the correlation between speaking's abilities or speaking achievement, and also about self-confidence. So in conclusion, people achieve people's skills and speaking can we see from how they have their self-confidence, even they are male or female, they also have their capacity or their own capacity in speak. And so maybe it's enough from me. So if you have any question, just type your question in question box. Sorry for all my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.